What's up, everyone? Today I'm going to react to a TikTok about a tweet that said walkable cities are fatphobic, and that tweet was actually satire. Of course, we'll be reacting to other TikToks as well, so enjoy, have fun.
Twitter's doing the thing again.
I know it's not intentional. I know the original tweet was satire, but this is the shit that hurts fat people who are disabled. Fat people who have mobility disabilities. Fat people who can't walk. Like, why are people in the comments of that post talking about, like, oh, we're not all like Wally? Like, bitch, some of us are, and actually that's okay. You might not think it's okay, but it is. It's not, I won't even say it's okay. It just is. And if you want fat people to be liberated, to be seen as our whole selves, you have to also fight for fat people who can't fucking walk. Proving your own health and ability will never free fat people, because the people who are the most fat phobic, the people who oppress us the most, will never see you as equal. They will never see you as healthy. It's a waste of your time, and it's punching down.
The fact you think being unable to move due to your weight is okay is worrying. Yes, while I'm glad to see you can understand people do in fact get their mobility limited due to their obesity, saying it's okay is just wrong. Imagining your joints is not normal or okay. Being so fat you are literally unable to walk is not okay. None of this is okay at all. I don't want fat people to be liberated because there's nothing to be liberated from. You chose to do this to yourself, and the only way for you to be liberated is to lose the weight. Wally is not a utopia. It's a scary depiction of what might happen to us in the future if people like you win this argument. If people think being obese is okay and healthy, this is where we'll get, which is why the message you deliver is so dangerous. Actually, proving thin people's health and ability will help some fat people. Seeing how their lives could be so much better if they lose their weight will help a lot of people make the decisions they need to make to fight. And it's a good thing.
Talk about what it's like to shop for clothes as a fat person, even just outside of the issue of size inclusivity, because I don't think thin people understand what it's like. Like, it's a totally different experience. So you can see that clothes were just thrown on the ground. There were random clothing items on random racks, and the folded items definitely hadn't been gone through and just like tidied up. And there was even a rack with dresses hanging on the floor. The plus size section was tiny, and the clearance section was right behind it, so there were straight size clearance items sort of like scattered within the plus size section, including a cart full of discarded clearance items that just got in the way. And then this is the straight size section. You can see it's immaculate. There's plenty of space. Even the mannequins' outfits are definitely more like thoughtfully designed. There are plenty of options for every occasion, and there were a few items on the ground, but I could tell that was just like stuff that fell from hangers, nothing that customers really did. It's pretty clear that the straight size section is tidied up throughout the day, and the straight size section was at the front of the store versus the plus size section is always kind of sandwiched at the back of the store.
The most important thing I think she's forgetting is that most people who work at those stores are teenagers. And let's be real here, they don't really care. They're just there to get paid, and that's alright. So I would not expect it to always look amazing. You most likely came in on a day where there were a lot of people who came to the plus size section. I worked in retail before, and the managers do not really care about how the back of the store looks like and only care about the front, since this is what people will see when they walk in. So if the plus size section is in the back, the manager will most likely care about it less. But it's not because they hate fat people. I'm willing to bet there are other sections nearby that looks the same. I don't understand why it's so problematic for you that your section is not as big as the section that serves literally every other human being that's not 500 pounds. Of course it'll be a bigger selection. First of all, supply and demand work together. If there's a lot of demand, they will have more supply. If a lot of people want to buy something, they will have more of it to match the demand. That's how it works. Which is why the thin section needs more space. But the plus size section you showed us seems really big and filled with ton of options. And her saying the mannequin outfits are more thoughtful and thoughtfully designed is so dumb, because that's such a subjective topic.
I just think that the wildest part about the response in this video is how angry people are at being told not to use fucked up language. Like, I could provide you with all the articles about why this is fucked up. I could provide you with all the articles about how the medical industry has pathologized and harmed so many people and dehumanized them by their language. But you could also Google that. So I'm not the first person to bring this up. Like, don't use language that somebody says is fucked up.
So the comment says obese is a medical term, which is right. And she's saying the word obese is problematic and people have to stop using it because other people might think it's fucked up. And if that's the logic we're going by, should doctors stop telling people they have the flu because it might be offensive to them? There's nothing offensive about this word. The word literally means overeating, which is what you did to yourself. You overate. It's not dehumanizing. It's a way to describe a problem that people might face.
I don't know who needs to hear this. Apparently a lot of you do. But posting yourself before and after you eat as a thin, conventionally attractive person is not doing what you think it's doing. A lot of times people do this with the intent to normalize bodies or whatever, but like your thin body is already normal. And no one's mad that you're thin. No one's mad that you're like trying to be helpful. People are upset that you're essentially body checking on the internet. Trying to have a positive platform to help other people with their insecurities or help them love themselves is great. But if you're doing something harmful, you need to own up to it, understand and learn from it, and delete it. You live and you learn, that's completely fine, but just know doing that is not helping anyone.
I think posting yourself before and after eating is a great thing. A lot of people see an unrealistic image in their mind that they want to achieve. And this coupled with social media, like TikTok, who has literally said they push videos with attractive people more because it gets more views, is dangerous. And people showing others that it's normal to be a little bloated after a meal and not have a flat stomach 24/7 is healthy and should be normalized. They're not body checking on the internet. That's your lack of confidence talking. They're just showing others their own struggles and help others understand that having a fit body doesn't mean you'll always have a flat stomach. And sometimes you can be bloated and it's okay. It's helpful to show that online. And it does help normalize the fact we all have a stomach and it changes during the day. And it does help a lot of people. I'm sick of how people like you say everything that people do is body checking online. A lot of fat people show their stomachs on TikTok and seem to be so proud of them. So is that also body checking? I'm willing to bet you would say no because it fits her agenda.
Part 2 of a larger plus size person talking to a mid-sized person about what the issue is.
Like, they want you to feel bad about yourself because they feel bad about their self. Delightful.
So, I have an issue with that. And look, I know that you showed in your video a bunch of comments about larger plus size people talking bad about mid-sized people and like, you know, I understand. Like, it's not nice. It's not. However, there's a difference between punching up and punching down, number one. Number two, what you described as happening is not happening at all. What we as larger plus size people want is for smaller plus size people and mid-sized folks to acknowledge the privilege that they have. You are free to talk about your struggles. 100%. Please do. However, you also have to acknowledge that in some things and in some cases and situations, you have a lot more privilege. You have a lot more access. And you are viewed as more attractive and more worthy than larger plus size people are. Because the closer you are to thinness, the closer you are to being the ideal. Now, I understand that you are not thin, but you are more thin than I am. And therefore, like I said, you have more access and more privilege and you're viewed as more favorably. And I personally just need smaller fats and mid-sized folks to acknowledge that a heck of a lot more than they already do. So it's not about wanting to bring you all down because we don't feel good about ourselves. That's not what that is. Honestly, that leads a little bit towards fatphobic rhetoric, to be honest. And I know that's not what you're trying to do. I understand that you're upset. And I think in some cases you have every right to be upset. But don't do that. Please don't do that. So I guess to sum it up, here's the thing. You mentioned that in the comments that you get in your video, you get people telling you that you're not plus size. And nope, the tag on your clothing says that you are. You absolutely are plus size. However, when you get that comment, that should signal to you how you are viewed by others and be a reminder of the privilege that you do have. It doesn't feel good to be told that you're not plus size when you have to buy from the plus size section, and I totally understand that. And you want to be validated in your struggles, 100%, I get it. But again, that should be a signal to you and a reminder to you of the place that you have in the community. Not that you're outside of it, but that you hold a lot of privilege. And that's all.
First of all, I find it so fucking funny that she said the woman provided proof that people are mean to her, just to follow it up by saying it doesn't happen. Like, what are you on about? I don't have any privilege because I'm thin. Well, actually I might, since I can probably do more intense exercises like climbing mountains, which you probably couldn't. Does that mean you're gonna cancel nature? It's just dumb. You have the exact same rights and options as me, but you chose to make it harder for yourself by damaging your body with something that you 100% control, which is not my fault. And yes, I am viewed as more attractive, but it's not because of privilege. It's about how we evolved to find thin person more attractive, because it means they're usually healthier. And you saying you understand she's not thin, but because you're fatter, your opinions means more, is just dumb. And it should have stayed inside your brain. We're all entitled to get our opinion out there, yes, but you saying your opinion means more than someone else's because of your weight is dangerous. Telling her we're punching up so it's okay is just insane. You want her to take the abusive behavior just because she's less fat? That's outrageous. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a good one.